I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Ground ball towards short. Iglesias coming home. The throw is going to be late. Safe. Sal Frelick reaches. That was a heck of an effort by Iglesias.
Yeah, it was a heck of an effort by the Brewers, too, but it just didn't pan out last night in San Diego. A tough loss late. 11 innings, because of course it goes 11 innings when they're on the West Coast. And morning radio guys don't have a chance to stay up and catch the end of the game. And then they got to get up early to watch the end of the game this morning. Kind of wish I would have stayed up. Kind of wrecked my morning. Good morning. What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's at The Fan Milwaukee. Website, thefanmilwaukee.com. You can chat with us all morning long on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line 414-677-1250. You can also watch us on YouTube, streaming live this morning, if you so care to take a look at what Josh and I look like at 6:03 in the AM. Joshua, I'm not full naming you. I don't even know your middle name, but
good.
That sucked last night, man.
Yeah, that was brutal to wake up to. I agree with you on that. And can I just say, did you just start the show in a negative light? Is that what you did? Did Trevor Thomas just start the show?
I think I started it in a realist light.
Oh.
It was just a realistic. See, what realism is to me, let's just get this out of the way, is past tense. When something already happened. Pessimism is when you're talking about something negative that's going to happen. That's not where I live. I live in the land of, you know what, this might pan out. We're still alive. We're still doing this. And I'm starting to freak out a little bit.
Look at you.
Starting to freak out.
Okay. See, this makes me feel really good. Day one, right? I'm like, okay, it's going to be positive Pete every day coming in here trying to find a non-existent silver lining. Well, at least the sun came out today, blah, blah, blah. Day two, you've already settled down. I'm liking this. We're going to be just fine.
I'm normal, semi-normal anyway. Brewers at Padres last night. A loss 5-4, a tough one in extras. I miss our small ball Brewers. I feel like we've, for some reason, packed that away in the junk drawer until the playoffs. We still have a reason to play. The NL and MLB overall number one seed is still up for grabs. The Brewers' magic number on that is 2. Thank you, Arizona Diamondbacks, for beating the Phillies last night. So either 2 wins and or 2 losses by the Phillies or a combination of both, and the Brewers have the entire playoffs run through Milwaukee in terms of home field advantage. But I feel like we're not going to get there unless we find our small ball and bring it back. I was so annoyed with Jake Bauers last night. Damn it, Josh, I'm all negative this morning.
Yeah, look at you.
All right, hear me out on this. I believe it was in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
I believe it was in the 7th. One guy on, one guy out. Jake Bauers comes in to pinch hit. On a 3-0 count.
Yeah.
He flies out to right. Next batter up, gets a single, moves whoever was on first over to third. Then the next guy steals second. So now we have runner on second and third, 2 outs, and there's out number 3. It didn't have to be that way. Earlier in the season, hell, the majority of the season, we would have bunted that guy over so that when the next guy came up and got a hit, it scored a run. But now we're swinging on a 3-0 count?
Well,
in that situation?
Yeah, but Bauers was never going to bunt.
Why?
Bauers isn't a bunt guy.
Can we not be a swing on 3-0 guy?
Sure.
Can we meet in the
That's
middle
a
on
fair
that?
argument. Yeah. Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
optimism
You can take
in
there.
me would have been like Vinny and Jeff said on the broadcast. By the way, FanDuel Sports, shout out to them for that intro that we played.
Yes.
That was the run they scored to make
In
it
the 10th.
4-5.
4-3.
4-3, yeah. Bottom of the 10th.
Top of the 10th. Yeah.
Who's on first?
That's right.
Why won't Jake Bauers bunt in that situation? I understand, and where I was going with the optimism was, oh, he just missed that. Jeff and Vinny both last night. Oh, he just missed that. Yeah, he did. He just missed that to the warning track in a situation where we had a guy on first that needed to be moved over to second with one out so he could score that run. Am I wrong, Josh? Do we not do that the rest of the season to get ourselves into this situation? It just feels like we're not doing that right now.
I think that it depends. They have so many. I feel like at this point they're set in their ways, and depending on who's at the plate, depends on what they're going to do. But this team didn't always need to hit for power, right? And so even on a 3-0 count, you either put another guy on, or you just get the ball in play. That was the beauty of this team. Yeah. Is that it didn't have to be long ball, long ball, long ball. It was pecking away. Another single here, another single here. Get a guy on, steal second, another single. You pecked away, peck. And we haven't seen that as much in the last couple of games. And it's just deflating. And standing here, talking to someone like you who yesterday was trying to stay positive and saying, look, they're resting guys, and there are plenty of people out there that are saying they're resting, they're getting ready, they're focusing on the games that are going to count, blah, 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 blah. There's got to be something said for staying in the right mindset when you're 5 games away from the postseason. Keeping in mind that, you're going to have a bye, right? They locked up a bye, even if it's not, all games are at home. They don't get the number 1 seed. They're getting the bye, right? The next game they're going to play, or the next time they play in the postseason, it is not going to be in a wild card. They're going to have a little break to rest, but get your head right.
Yeah. I keep trying to tell myself that we're being smart with guys. We're holding back. Look who's pitching tonight. Did you see?
Who's pitching?
Yeah. Bruce Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
No idea who that is.
Just got brought up.
Yeah. Brutal.
Was supposed to be up for like a day, and then got told when Woody went down, hey, unpack your bags. You're staying.
Wild.
After 158 games.
Hasn't pitched in the majors since 2023. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Is it, though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I hate that I don't know. I cannot believe we're in a situation at the end of the season. I'm stomping my foot on concrete. I don't know. And that's annoying to me. How do we not know that we're safe, that we should feel safe at this point in the season after the greatest season in Brewers history right now in terms of wins?
Well, not yet.
I think we're going to, if we dump the last 5.
Well, what they need, they need two to break, one to tie.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and be out on a ledge and say that we're going to win at least 2 out of the next 5. For the love of Pete, please tell me we went over.
Yeah.
There's some positives from last night. Freddie Peralta, strikeout number 200 on the year. So I looked up the stats of the all-time Brewers strikeout leaders. Okay. Do you know who holds that title with 264 in one season?
Ben Sheets.
And Ben Sheets. Well done. Where's my bell? Bing. How many times is Freddie Peralta in the top 15? Dead air.
I'm going to say twice.
3.
Okay.
And you might be right because there's some ties. So last night he throws strikeout number 200, and then he got number 201 along with it. The other time he's in that list is at number 6. He threw 210 strikeouts in 2023. So we'll see. I don't think he's going to get Ben Sheets. I mean, that'd be impossible at this point.
Yeah, not
Do the playoffs count for this, or is this just regular season?
Usually regular season.
Ben Sheets never played in the playoffs.
No.
So I guess that's his title, the dude was dealing.
Oh, yeah.
Man, talk about Brewers in the wrong time. Like, he was one of the best in the entire MLB when he was pitching here, and the Brewers were not.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize that happens all the time. Not even just in Milwaukee. There are plenty of times when there is a player who is on a crappy team for the majority of their career. Like, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And for Ben Sheets, that was in Milwaukee.
All right, so how do you feel? Where do you land? Shoot us a text. Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. Some people chiming in about Positive Pete. I am going to punch you in the face, Josh, if
Why?
people start calling me Positive Pete.
Well, you are.
At the moment.
That's right. Not now. Not right now, you're not. Usually you are. How about this from the 414? The number one seed is 2.5. The Phillies were off yesterday. Positive Pete.
Yeah, that's the Positive Pete piece I was talking about. I think it's 2 games today because the Phillies were off yesterday.
Well,
meaning I think it's 2 games today. The Phillies got beat by the Diamondbacks Sunday.
Yeah, true.
So they're at the Miami Marlins, those Phillies, which is very kind because that game starts at 5:45. So we'll have a clue as to what's going on with the MLB and NL overall number 1 seed for the Brewers if we can close this out. The Phillies have 6 games left. The Brewers, I believe, have 5 games left. So
yes,
that's
where
that half game comes in.
They do. Now, those 5 games that the Brewers have left, here's the other thing. You talk about winning 2 of the last 5. First of all, I don't know that it's going to matter much for those 5 games from a Brewers perspective, right? If they have the bye locked up, the Phillies lost again, there's just not as much to play for as you may think in these 5 games for the Brewers. The teams they're playing against are the Padres and the Reds. Padres, with the win last night, locked up a postseason spot, right? So that was a big deal for them. I don't know. I'd have to look at the breakdown of seeding, but I'm assuming that the Padres still have something to fight for their last couple games. And we know the Reds do, because the Reds have been on fire trying to get that last spot, which I think they currently have ahead of the Mets. So it's not like the Brewers are playing the Angels now or the Pirates now or some team that was done at the beginning of August. This is for the teams we're playing, they got a lot more to play for.
MLB.com/postseason. I love the bracket that they show where it says if the postseason started today, the Brewers are the 1, the Phillies are the 2, the Dodgers 3, Cubs 4, Padres 5, Reds 6. And we were looking at this yesterday, me and some friends, and we're like, oh, great. We have to play whoever wins in the series if it ends up Padres and Cubs, right? Oh, great. Are we going to have the Cubs in the NLDS? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they reseed after the wild card round.
That's a good question. I feel like they've changed this so many times. I thought that too, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, if the Reds beat the Dodgers at the 6th seed, that means the Brewers play the Reds because we have the number 1 and we would play the lowest seed left.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let's say that is the case. What's the team you want to avoid the most out of those teams? The Cubs? The Cubs are the team that scares you the most.
Yeah, it has everything to do with the fans. It has nothing to do with the baseball team. I believe home field advantage in the Major League Baseball playoffs is everything. And if the Brewers and the Cubs play at AmFam Field, we will lose our home field advantage. There's no way around it. It is what it is.
I hate to say you're right, but yeah, that has always been the case. I hate that that's the case.
I hate that that's the case.
I don't want the Cubs coming there either. But I still think team-wise, and this is what I talk about with being the hot hand, the hot team still isn't the Cubs. The hot team definitely isn't the Brewers. I think the hottest team right now is the Reds.
I agree.
And so
we'll have to see how that goes when they come here for the last 3.
Correct. And so there's something to be said about not playing the best team, but playing the hottest team. And you and I, before we started the show, we were talking to each other, and we were talking about when is the right time for a team to be hot? How important is that? And is this Brewers team going to find a way to be that hot team? When is it time? You said to me when we talked about that, why not game one? Why not game one of the NLDS? Why can't that be the game that they decide to turn it on and get hot? For my anxiety, that's too late. You got to go into that break, that little break you're going to have, not being in a slump, losing 5 of your last 7 or whatever it is.
So we can kind of compare this to the NFL. When these teams that have all of their things locked up, they sit their starters, right? The QBs don't play. The number 1 seed overall is decided within a week or two of the regular season ending in the NFL. And they sit their players. That's why fantasy doesn't go that far. So is this a comparable situation to the Brewers? We have no reason to play our starting quarterback right now. We have no reason to play our starting running back right now. We're within 2.5 games of having the overall number 1 seed. It's something that we want to get to if possible. That would be great. But it's not mandatory for us to have a successful postseason.
Correct.
So that's the mental fight I'm in with myself and sometimes with you. I don't understand, and I can't quite comprehend if this is bad and we really should be playing our quarterback, or is it okay to just rest knowing that we're going to have a first-round bye? There's really no reason to push it right now, and that's okay. But I hear everything you're saying about being hot at the end of the season, and I completely agree. You want to ride with the hot team. Understood. And we're playing one of the hot teams at the end. But is it okay to take our quarterback out at the moment? I don't even know who the quarterback is, by the way. I'm just saying the overall mentality of the team. Is it all right to be at the end of the NFL season here with the Brewers? What? Somebody just joining us right now. What did he say?
Yeah. What?
We're trying to compare the end of the NFL season to the end of the Brewers season here and sitting or taking our foot off the gas or whatever the case may be, because everything is already in order. This is new for us, Josh. We have not, in my time, we have not been here.
No, I mean, a lot of times, like you go back to this, when they won game 163 to win the division. It was not a situation where they could take the foot off the gas in this way. Now, there was a season, I don't know, because, and gosh, how lucky are we now as Brewers fans, where the division sucked. And so the Brewers won the division pretty easily, but it just turned out that the division was weak, including the Brewers. And then they got bounced in the first round. So I don't know exactly who the quarterback is, to your point. I don't think it's necessarily looking at the quarterback as much as it is just taking your foot off the gas. The whole mindset. Not even resting a specific player, resting multiple players. Does that make sense? I don't know. It depends on each player. I will tell you this. In talking to Jeff Levering and talking to Tim Dillard and talking to people that are close to the team year and year and year, they always say that's not the mindset of an athlete. That's not the mindset of a professional athlete. They can never do that. Every game they want to win. They're in it to win every single game. So if you believe that, then you should be scared about what is happening with this team right now. If you don't believe that and you think that that's just something they say and that they truly are just going, we got to rest or we're going to be in trouble come the NLDS, then I guess we got to take a breath.
Ben in the 920, a quick text into the Nicolay Law talk and text line. You can do it to 414-677-1250. Ben says the trepidation comes from Brewers seasons of the past. They always rip our hearts out. That's the truth.
Yes.
And it's very difficult. And we might be able to take Brewers out and put Wisconsin sports.
Correct.
Because we just have this gut feeling at the end of the season because we've had so many end in our hearts literally ripped out of our chest. And so you're right, Ben. We have a bit of a trepidation. And at the end of the day, let's just Celebrate what is. My God, it's a great season. We're number one overall right now.
No.
How as Brewers fans are we here sweating?
I can't do that.
I don't like it.
I can't do that.
What, sweat?
No, I can't just take a step back and celebrate the season that
I
is.
know.
We
I
did
know.
that yesterday. Listen, I wasn't happy with how the team did going into yesterday's show, and I had to put all that on the back burner to celebrate the fact that we won the division because I couldn't let that moment pass. That was yesterday. Now I'm on to not having an immediate heartbreak again in the first series that the Brewers get to play.
Okay.
Can't do it.
All right, there. My negative is out of the way. All to the positive now, and I have questions. That's next on Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow Josh and I on the X. It's at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. You can also follow along with the show at Inside Wis Sports. Facebook and Twitter for The Fan, at The Fan Milwaukee. Of course, the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. We're live on YouTube. Search The Fan Milwaukee and text us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line 414-677-1250. Every time I hear that song, I think about American Pie.
So what you think of?
Oh, yeah. And the old man, I think it's at the end, and he's doing that dance. God, I hate that we're on YouTube and I'm dancing. I'm dancing, and I don't dance.
I barely call that dance.
Yeah, it's not dancing. Yeah, American Pie. Right? What's it? I mean, I don't know his name, but. All right, so we got to hear from El Capitano in Green Bay yesterday. Matt LaFleur took to the podium. Here is a little bit of what he had to say after a really tough loss in Cleveland.
Well, I just think this league is such a week-to-week league, and you can never lose sight of that. And you can't take any moment, any game for granted. And the goal, and I've said it a million times to you guys, I don't think I've obviously said it enough to our team. The goal is to go 1-0 every week. And it pisses me off when we start talking about things outside of the next game, things that are way down the road. Like focus on, keep the focus on the present, on the now, and worry about getting better each and every day.
Okay. Josh, I have questions.
Oh, do you?
I have questions. Whose job is it to keep the team focused on the week that is?
I think like the head coach.
Plausible.
Yeah.
I think it's plausible.
I don't think there's a position for focused manager, right? Like, I don't think that's a staff member title. I'm the manager of focus for the Green Bay Packers. My job is to make sure that they're focused at all times, and that's it. That's all I worry about.
Yeah, it's just interesting when the head coach comes out and says, you can't take anything for granted. You're right. We can't. You mean like a 10-0 lead against the Cleveland Browns?
Preach, my man. Yes.
So I'm not being negative. I'm just being real.
Yeah, baby.
Right. I'm being realistic.
Oh,
Thanks
I love
for teaching me.
Oh, I
Thank you
love
for
it.
Teaching.
Doesn't it
Holding
feel
my
good?
hand. It doesn't feel great. No, because I would like more reasons to be all positive.
Well, of course.
But there's not a lot right now. All right, so the Packers at Dallas. Man, I wasn't worried about this game a few weeks ago. Now I'm worried about this game. And I don't know that the Micah Parsons roller coaster ride up and down coming out of everything that was the first 3 weeks is going to be enough.
Hold on. Before we get to the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
I have questions.
Okay.
How does Matt LaFleur not realize after this long that being the guy that just goes up to the podium and says, that's on me, I have to do better, blah, 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 isn't working?
Okay.
I can't help but feel like he's well aware and he just doesn't care. Like, this is his answer and it's going to continue to be his answer. You can't go and say, we got to be better at that, and then come out and say what he just said here and say that, I'm telling the players, and apparently I got to tell them a million more times, to just focus on this week and being better every day. Well, you also tell us that you've got to be better every day. So should there be a different head coach that's telling you and the players to be better every day? I don't get how that sentiment continues to be what's being said year after year.
The NicolayLaw.com talk and text line. Ryan from the Falls. It's comical to me when LaFleur tries to act like more of a tough guy than he actually is.
It's true. He's tried that before, and it didn't work.
I've been thinking about this for a few years now. If we're comparing Matt LaFleur, just the guy and the coach that we get to see, I've met him personally a couple times outside of 1265. He's nice. He's quiet. He kind of keeps to himself. He's a good dude. He'll say hi, shake your hand. How are you? Good to see you again. How you been? All that stuff. But I don't find him to be the charismatic leader that is other NFL head coaches. And I'm wondering, if that's catching up with the Green Bay Packers just a little in regards to the conversation that we're having, which is all about let's keep the team focused on this week. Or like Pat Murphy would say, win tonight, right?
Yeah.
That's repetitive, though, for the Brewers. And you hear the guys talking about that. And I'm wondering if there's something lost. You know, I felt this way, Josh, in training camp. It was like practice 2 or 3, I want to say. I was there on the sidelines watching. Rasheed Wallace absolutely pancaked Kingsley Angabari. He was forced to take a lap. There was just the practice was just off. And LaFleur snapped on the team after the practice. This is your team. This isn't. I can't say any of the things that he said. It was good, to say the least. I think it woke him up a little bit. But then we have that joint practice. Was it the Seahawks who came here for the joint practice? I don't care. They fought like crazy. And all Dad said was, don't fight. Hey, kids, don't fight today, okay? Keep it together and don't fight. And they fought. And so my question in this segment we call I Have Questions was, why aren't we listening to Dad? Why isn't Dad having the impact? Listen, I have 2 teenage boys in my house that I love with all of my being. And I understand that sometimes no matter what Dad says, it does not matter.
Yep.
Is that where this team is? Why aren't we listening to Dad?
Listen, if Dad's not scary, then you're not going to be afraid of Dad. If when even and there was a time, I want to say it was 2 seasons ago, when LaFleur got upset and he came to the podium and he was yelling and it just didn't hit. It didn't hit like some of these other coaches when they're frustrated at the podium. And I kind of remember listening to it and being like, oh, is that what would happen if you were the angry coach? Okay, maybe you can't be that guy. And if he can't be that guy in those situations, it makes you wonder, can he be that guy to the players? He can yell at the players, but does it have that impact on the players to where they straighten up, to where they focus, to where they do what needs to be done? I don't know.
The worst thing a dad can say to you is, I'm not mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just disappointed. That doesn't work if you're not afraid of mad dad. If Dad comes out just steaming, you got to be shaking in your boots a little bit in order for him to say, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, for that to work.
Right, because you're ready to get yelled at. And then he doesn't yell
coming.
And just says he's disappointed. And that's what crushes you.
This is years ago. My wife was at a grocery store with both of our boys, and they were being complete morons. And I got a text that said, come and get your kids. That's fun, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love
They're
that.
our kids.
Yeah. Not
100% our kids.
Yep.
But when they're idiots, they're my kids.
That's right.
That's where, come get your kids.
Has to be.
Hung up with me. I'm on the way to go get them. And I pick them up in the parking lot, and I am dead silent. And they do not know what to do with themselves. I didn't yell. I wasn't disappointed. I was completely quiet. And when we got home, I said, go to your rooms. I'll figure out what's next. There will be a punishment. I just don't know when it's going to be or what it is yet. To this day, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
To this day, I guarantee you, my son will text me if he's listening right now and say, we still haven't got that punishment. And I think about it all the time.
But it's coming.
It's coming. I just don't know when, and I don't know what.
Didn't forget. Listen, I thought I was going to be the fun dad, right? I'm a fun guy. I'm terrified of my wife. Like, she is not. she is that scary coach, right? When she says something, you quiver a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's not how it is with the kids. Then we have kids, and she's like, oh, it's okay. Everything's fine. And I had to become bad cop. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm not the bad cop. And there are days when I go, I wonder if that even worked. Did he buy that? Did that scolding actually hit, or is he just going, yeah, whatever, Dad? I'm going, am I a Matt LaFleur, Dad? Come on.
That's funny. Who's the bad cop in the Green Bay Packers coaching staff?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
That's a good question. Who's the bad cop on the Green Bay Packers coaching staff? Who do you see? You know who's kind of scary looking is Butkus. All
Well-
summer long, he wore this hoodie. He's a large mammal.
Yeah.
And all summer long, he wears this hoodie, and it is drenched by the end of practice. And I think you just look at a big old boy and go, kind of scary. Why are you wearing a hoodie? Doesn't make sense.
See, Pat Murphy is that type of coach. Pat Murphy can be the guy that has pancakes in his pocket, but I do not want to make Pat Murphy mad and be standing a foot away from him.
No.
Like that mentality and that aura, I don't know who on the Packers has that.
We had Pat Murphy on the Inside Wisconsin podcast over a year ago. It was right after he got hired. And we behind the scenes, just like we're live on YouTube right now, here on Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Fan, Milwaukee, we get to chit chat a little bit behind the scenes before we go live, right? And before we start recording. And it was just me and Pat Murphy to begin. First time I met him, never talked to him before. And we're sitting there talking. And I bring up age somehow, that I'm only 42. And I asked him, at your age, getting the job that you got, some guys try to retire at this time and you're getting your first. Yeah, moron. So, but here's the deal. He thought it was funny, but I couldn't tell. And that was terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's
that is
that
not
type
a
of
guy
stuff
you want to make angry.
No.
And so I guess that's the question of the day. We call I Have Questions. Why doesn't Dad have the iron fist that is Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers? Because if he's coming out and saying we can't take anything for granted and we have to play 1 week at a time, I'd like to think that message is supposed to come from him. And I fear that if it is, it's not sticking, or is it even being said at all in that locker room? By the way, sick new locker room. That thing is sweet.
Yeah, that's very true.
A lot of lights, a lot of TVs, very bright.
Big fan.
Loud music. When the reporters are in there and they give you like the 15-minute warning and the 5-minute warning and like time to wrap up, within seconds of them going, all right, time to go, somebody goes and cranks that music so that you cannot ask any more questions. Heck of a sound system there in the Packers locker room. All right, coming up next, a fun segment that we are going to call the most electrifying sound of the day. What was it from yesterday that stuck in our heads that we either need to celebrate or we can't flush fast enough? This is Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are so jacked with this all-new lineup here on the Fan. 6 to 9, that's us, Josh, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht. You are here with us now. Thanks for that. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Mekloff. The old 9 to noon is back and better than ever. John Kuhn was so jacked yesterday on the air. Fun to listen to. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show in their new time slot with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5 is Wisconsin Sports Daily with Sparky, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, the Fan Postgame Show with Tommy Wirtz, because Tommy literally never goes home. The guy lives here. It's insane what he does for this radio station. We could not be more grateful for him and all of this, the brand new lineup, all because of you. Fan Nation, you demanded this. You love this radio station and you wanted it back. Baby, it is back. What else is back? The most electrifying sound of the day is back. Here we go.
From eight lines it into left center. It's a walk-off. Johnson's coming from third. And with that, for the fourth time in the last 6 seasons, the San Diego Padres are headed back to the postseason in 2025. The party is on in San Diego.
That's depressing. Why did you bring that up?
Okay.
Golf clap.
I know. That was an electrifying call. It was unfortunate that it had to come against the Brewers, but I'm more than that. It made me it reminded me of the saltiness I have over the fact that we didn't get that call for the Brewers. We didn't get it at all. We won't.
Yet. No, that's not true. If we lock up the NL and MLB number 1 seed, there will be a call.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Well, I'm not sure it's not going to happen. Like you seem to be at this time.
No, but you said there will be. There's a chance, right? But the same thing could happen if the Phillies fall apart even more. The same thing could happen. The Brewers do not have to win to lock up that number 1 seed.
Right, and that's kind of what we were bummed about the other night.
Right.
When the Brewers locked up the NL Central.
Was happy they won. Ecstatic that they got it done. But as a guy in radio especially and loving the talent we have on play-by-play, I wanted that call. I wanted that electrifying call that the Padre fans got from Don Orsillo on MLB TV. I wanted that.
You and I were talking during that game, and it sounded just like this. You saying, we're not going to get it. And I'm saying there's still a chance. There will be something. They're sticking to this live. They're going to watch the Cubs lose.
Yep.
Like, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. Good news, we got it. Bad news, Stephen Watson didn't exactly come out of his chair.
No.
And there you have it.
Because it wasn't an actual call. It was and there you have it.
There you have it.
The Brewers are the division champs.
It was almost mundane.
Right.
But what is he supposed to do? He's sitting at an anchor desk in Milwaukee watching this on his own monitor.
Exactly. It's a tough situation, right? Yeah. If he would have been that excited in that moment, it wouldn't have matched the moment.
No. Would have seemed off, yeah.
But I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that call. Even though the Brewers are in a way better situation than the Padres, right? The Padres were celebrating just making the postseason. They don't get to say they're champions of anything at this point, right? But the call, that electrifying sound of the day, went to the Padres.
Yeah, gross. Would like to never do that again. How about that? And boy, do I still hate Manny Machado.
Yeah, true.
When he apparently scored a run yesterday. I was watching my son's football game when I think this started, or I was at a meeting. Whatever it was a balk, which is the false start of Major League Baseball. I don't understand how they choose what's a balk and what's not. I mean, I understand the rules, but sometimes when they pull those out, you're like, where? What? Where did you see that? What are you talking about? Is what it was. But Manny Machado scored the run on that, and I just can't help but hear his name and
yeah, not a fan.
Jesus Aguilar, I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
and he was with the Dodgers, right? That's when he was playing with the Dodgers, that we could not get past in the playoffs. For the love of God, I love this next segment that we're going to do here in a few minutes on Inside Wisconsin Sports. I remember yesterday, Josh, you and I were talking about it's a brand new segment.
Yeah.
And up next, a brand new segment. Hey, McFly, it's our first show.
They're
all brand new.
Yeah.
Everything is brand new. Today is day 2. And we'd like to remind you what's coming up next, which is a brand new segment as of yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it brand new now? I don't know that it's brand new. It's one day old.
But you don't buy a new car with 0 miles on it.
It's a great point. What's the timeline of when you can say things are brand new? I love that just with the show, right? This is a new show, new lineup. How long is it new? How long do we get? 6 months?
It's a good
3 months?
question. We should probably ask management that. How long until you don't expect us to sound like we're brand new anymore? Is it a week? I'd like longer than a week.
I would also like more than a week. Yes, please.
I would like some months. As many months as they're willing to give us. But you know what? I don't think we sound brand new today at all. I think we have it together.
Couldn't agree
We've
more.
played some sound.
Yep.
Our pets' heads are not falling off. Everything is going to be just fine. We call the next segment the Morning Mind Dump. So we've got an hour under our belt. The coffee is in the system. The alarms have been some time ago. You are either on your way to work, have just gotten to work, or maybe you're just waking up yourself. What do you need to get out of your brain this morning? What's bugging you? What do you want to celebrate? That's positive, by the way. What do you want to celebrate? What's going on that's good in your life? And compare it to Wisconsin sports. That is next on the Morning Mind Dump. So get your text in now. We'll review them over the top of the hour and come back with this, and we can't wait for it. The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line 414-677-1250. I'm going to say it again, 414-677-1250, the Morning Mind Dump.
I gotta, speaking of going to the talk and text line here, Nick in Greenfield said, Josh, we will get an audio call when we win a playoff series or maybe 2-3.
Maybe 2 or 3.
I love it.
Oh.
I mean, that's what it's going to take. We will not. I mean, there's a chance that we get one, right? We have the opportunity for one more of those calls before the end of the season if they lock up the number 1 seed. If they get to end the season saying with the best record in baseball, that would be pretty great. Otherwise, it's got to be in the postseason, which every game you win in the postseason gets that call.
Yeah. I mean, so fun.
That's the beauty of postseason baseball. Every pitch is cheered for. Or there's silence. Every single pitch. There's no bathroom break. You are locked in the entire game.
You just brought up a really interesting point. How much of this season felt like that earlier in the season during that win streak?
Well,
we lived and died with every pitch. I've never watched more Brewers baseball in my entire life. Now, granted, this is what we do for a living, so it's kind of required. But I have not wanted to miss a game. I'm annoyed when I miss a pitch. That is the feeling we had earlier in the year. And that feeling is no longer with us. And that's the annoying part. We know it's coming. I'm excited for the playoffs. You're excited for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Winning a series in the playoffs would be splendid.
Oh,
it's
got to happen.
Twice in my lifetime. Twice. We have won 2 playoff series in my entire life.
Insane.
I'm 42.
Yeah. I will say this is also the beauty of baseball, though. If you think about, and I was thinking about this yesterday when we were celebrating being division champs, the roller coaster of up and down of emotions through a baseball season. I mean, the highs to then even just right after that amazing run to go to, all right, so now this team's just never going to win again. What's going on? Now we got this, and the other thing. It's just the way that it goes. And right now we're in one of those, downturns, hoping that we're going to be heading back up at the right time. Can they get hot, Trevor?
So in Murphy, I trust. There is something. I think he's got something up his sleeve or in his back pocket that is going to surprise us all. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's proven that. Is losing Woody a bummer? Yes, understandable. There's some things that haven't gone our way here at the end of this season. However, it is not over. You know why? Because we are not done yet. Isn't that your saying, Josh?
That's right.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Coming up next, it's time for the morning mind dump. Get your thoughts in now. 414-677-1250. Keep it here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
So they're not trying to just go in and out, up and down on Niger Morgan here. They're trying to get him out at the risk of him getting a hit. 2-2. Morgan base it up the middle. Gomez is going to be waved around. The throw to the plate. Not in time for the Brewers. Advance to the National League Championship Series.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, and that call from the Game 5 of the Brewers versus the Diamondbacks back in 2011, courtesy of TBS, to advance to the NLCS. Niger Morgan coming through. What's up, Wisconsin? Lots to celebrate right now. The Brewers are in a great spot. Doesn't feel like it, but they literally are. Mr. Realist, in a great spot.
Yes.
So all of that's a great problem to have. The Packers not in a great spot. Doesn't feel like it's a great spot, even though it's 2-1 off to Dallas this week. We've got an hour under our belt. And at the top of the 7 o'clock hour here on Inside Wisconsin Sports, we are going to have a morning mind dump. The coffee's working. Where are we at? How are we doing? What are your thoughts? Where do we need to be? You can reach out to us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. What's on your mind? What do you got to get off your chest? The good, the bad, the ugly. Mind dump it, and we will talk about it. 414-677-1250. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. The website, thefanmilwaukee.com. You can find Josh and I on Twitter as well, at OnAirJosh. That's Josh.
Thank you.
At Trevor Thomas, IW. Follow along in the show, too. It's at Inside Wis Sports, where we'll just retweet all of the things that come to mind. Like last night, Josh, you put out a very nice tweet of just humble and kind and grateful and all of the things that was yesterday for you coming back on the air here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was an amazing day. It was very unexpected, and just I was filled with emotion with everyone that texted in and sent messages and just everything welcoming me back and saying kind words, and it was awesome.
All right,
Very,
so
very
let's figure out what's on people's minds. Let's go to the talk and text line. There's some great stuff from earlier that we do not want to gloss over. First off, there's some people saying that this idea of this nickname that you gave me this morning.
Yeah.
What was it again?
Well, now I was being a positive Pete.
Well, he kind of called me Positive Pete, and people apparently they like that nickname.
I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. You were not being a positive Pete today. You were like me. You were being a realistic Ron, you know?
Hey, that's better than pessimistic Patty.
That's right.
Because you're not pessimistic, right? You're a realist.
That's right. The whole world isn't falling apart yet. But if it does, I'm not going to tell you that everything's fine.
Yet? The whole world isn't falling apart yet. You know what? To the talking text line. This is a good one to start off then with the world falling apart. Someone in the 262, it's Ryan from the Falls, says, I can't back a team that has ripped my heart out year after year. He's talking about the Brewers. The effort put forth these last two games doesn't make me feel better.
I love this. I love this. First of all, I am not going to tell Ryan how to fan, okay? But don't say that you can't back a team that has – you 100% are. What are you saying? You're no longer a Brewers fan? You saying that you haven't enjoyed watching them all season, potentially get more wins than any other Brewers team in history? Yes, you 100% are backing a team that has ripped your heart out year after year. However, that doesn't mean it doesn't sting and that you aren't worried based on these last two games.
Overnight last night, Adam McKelvey from the West Coast at 1:28 a.m. tweeted this from Pat Murphy. Pat Murphy said, "I'm proud of our guys for not just showing up and saying, well, we've clinched a bye, we won the division, and instead showing up and playing as hard as they did. That touched me. That was special. Guys were disappointed we didn't win. I am too." Dude, that's the dad that you want to play for. Like,
yes.
Let's go. Okay. What is it? It's Tuesday. 5 games left.
5 games.
You and I do this show next week with a whole different meaning. It's playoff time. We get a break. Let's heal up. How sweet would it be for the Brewers to go on a 5-game run to end the season? Then I think we have a totally different feeling about than where we're at right now.
1000%.
But Ryan brings up a good point, man. Like, he says here, like, whether it's they go and punch a wall or Yelly in his back or Woody and possibly McGill now. That's Randy and Greendale. That's all true. That's hard to forget.
Yeah, injuries are a concern. And it does seem like in Wisconsin sports, the injury bug comes at the worst of times. And not just in this case, not just for one player. You know, he brings up Devin Williams punching the wall. Like, yeah, okay, that was awful, right? We all remember that. But then he brings up this year, it's not even one. You're not even just sitting here going, and now this year, Woody. You know, there's a lot of injuries right now that this team is battling. And I am not of the mindset that baseball injuries are okay, but they'll be back. They're still going to play. They might not.
The NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. The morning mind dump, 414-677-1250. A new listener to a new show. Kyle from New London, Minnesota, chiming in this morning. He says, "Hey, guys, happy to hear Josh on the radio again."
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Welcome back. He's nervous about the Pack. He just wants to see them blow a team out. Lions do it. Vikings do it. Bears do it. Why can't the Packers?
Well,
What?
They did.
Yeah, twice, actually.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the offense didn't score, 40 points or whatever it was that Detroit ended up getting to last night. But, I mean, that's just because the defense is so good. I do understand, I think, a point he might be trying to get to and we've talked about it a little bit, of that in that third quarter when the Packers are up, taking their foot off the gas a little bit instead of, keeping the foot on the throat and just going. And if that's the case, I agree. I would like to see more of that too.
So you and I talked a little bit about this last night as we were shutting thy eyes to go to bed. And I said, save it. Let's save this for the air.
Yeah.
You were slightly annoyed that the Lions went and got the job done last night. And they scored as many points as they did. And you were comparing that to the Packers not doing their job. And as you would expect, I go, time out.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. The Packers defense held the Lions to a mere 13 points in week 1. The Commanders 18 points in week 2, and some of those were junk points. And the Browns to 10 points. Now, granted, the Browns to 13 points. Now, granted, the Packers scoring 10 didn't get the job done.
Right.
But our defense is legit. And so when we see the Lions do what they did last night and score, 37 the last time I looked before I fell asleep? What was the final score of that game last night?
It might have been that. I don't know.
A lot. That was the part that you were annoyed at most. So can you give the Packers defense credit, Josh?
38-30 was the final.
38-30. Can you give the Packers defense credit in this morning mind dump that really isn't something to worry about from last night?
1,000% the defense is not something to worry about. No. When I said that to you last night, and in my morning mind dump here, right, because a lot of it is you go to bed and you watch a game like that, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch the Lions and the way that the Lions play football work successfully after seeing a Packers loss. Because the way that the Packers play football and the way that the Lions play football are very different, right? The Lions take a lot of chances, and sometimes they don't pay off. But when they do, And you are still hurting from seeing the Packers completely fall apart. And then you see a team like Detroit go into Baltimore against an amazing Baltimore team and get the job done, right? We all knew going into the game against the Browns that their defense was elite. We had to watch out for Myles Garrett. We knew the game plan. We knew what we had to get past. It's no different than what the Lions had to do. The Lions knew what they were up against in Baltimore. The difference is that the Lions went on Monday night and they got the job done. They did what they had to get the job done. The Packers didn't. And so seeing that is what was frustrating. On paper, on film, looking at each side of the ball, yeah, I'm not worried about the Packers defense. The Packers defense has been elite. They continue to be elite. I'm not worried about that. I'm talking about from the start of the game to the end of the game, seeing that the Lions found a way to get done what they needed to, and the Packers couldn't, was frustrating.
So another morning mind dump chime in here on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. You can send yours. What do you got to get off your chest? What do you got to get out of your head? 414-677-1250. Dump it on us. The Tuesday. That was yesterday. Monday morning mind dump. That sounded really good, but we're going to do this every day.
Yeah. Well,
this
you got
is Tuesday.
For your health,
the morning mind dump. Yeah, it's very healthy.
Yeah. You got to regulate the system.
So here's one that said, morning mind dump, the Bears offense looked good. And I think that's part of your frustration, Josh. I mean, if we just look at the NFC North over the weekend, the Lions do what they did last night at the Ravens, 38-30. Those Cowboys did not do anything in Chicago. Bears 31, Cowboys 14. And those godforsaken guys in purple. Mm-hmm. And Carson Wentz comes out of wherever he was. 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, 14 of 20. Vikings win 48-10. That's what sucks the most, is just looking at the rest of our division over the weekend and having just a horrible loss for the Packers, and yet everybody else got it done. There are things to celebrate, though. We don't want to forget that. Someone in the 608 here says, on my mind, Pack should be fine, but boy, do the Lions look better. Well, they didn't in week 1. Hope we can beat the Cowboys and then regroup during the early bye. That's a good point. There's an early bye coming for the Packers that I think when we look at the end of the season, or when the schedule comes out, oh man, the bye was week 5.
Yeah, don't like a week 5 bye.
Ugh, how are we going to be rested? There's those mini buys that happen throughout the season. Unfortunately, the Packers already had one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night at Dallas, and then we get a rest. And yes, the Lions did look pretty good last night, but I'd like to just rest in the fact that week 1 at Lambeau, the Lions did not look good, and the Packers did. You may recall over the last 2 seasons prior to this one, the Lions came into Lambeau Field and looked really good. So to get a win against the Lions at Lambeau was a great feeling to start the year. But indeed, the Lions did look good last night. What should I do in Dallas? So I'm headed to Dallas this weekend. That's kind of on my mind this morning. I had a conversation with the people that were working on with the travel and the hotel and all the things to head down to Dallas. We fly out on Friday, fly back on Monday. Enjoy the show, guys. Like, hey, let's start a new show.
Yeah.
I'm out on Monday. And I'm out on Monday. And I'm on Friday. So I'm going to attempt to call in.
No, we're going to bug you. We're going to get you on.
That's great. So Monday morning, I'll be heading back from Dallas, but I'll be in Dallas while the show is going on. The issue is it's a vacation day, and the other issue is it's a Sunday night game. So on vacation, do I want to wake up early after a Sunday night game and talk about it? Yes, I do. Should I? Probably not, but I'm going to try. So we'll see how that shakes out. Thunder. Mitch Nellis is in for me on Friday and Monday. I appreciate you, Thunder. So what should I do in Dallas? And I talked yesterday, and I kind of want to get some more input here. I think I'm going to get a tour, and I'm hoping at some point I talk somebody into showing me the offices, because I want to literally bring a thank you note from all of us here as Packer fans and just slide it under Jerry Jones' door. Jerry, on behalf of Packers Nation, thank you for your gift of Micah Parsons. Signed, us.
Yes.
What else should I write in there?
Yeah. I think it's important that you not make it professional. I think like if you write it in crayon
yeah.
and have it like just on a piece of paper folded, like don't make it like a, actual cardstock card. Like I think that goes the extra mile. Real making it real personal, you know?
Handwritten, like handmade.
Yeah.
Like we all got cards when we were in grade school.
Yeah, exactly.
Grandpa Jones,
Yeah.
thank you for
Which
coming
can
to
I
my
just tell you,
party.
by the way, my 8-year-old, that's how all the cards are. Now, he makes the cards.
Love that.
And cards are expensive. And so I love the fact that that is now acceptable, that the card is just, Jordy, make a card. Save us $7. Fold up this piece of paper, color, draw on it, whatever, doesn't matter. Boom, Christmas, all of them, doesn't matter.
The best part is whoever you hand that to.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's no way. Oh, look at this. Look at this awful thing. But you think about it, that's how most people react to getting a normal card anyway. So
Teach
love
the
it.
kid. Teach the kid how to color.
There you go.
All right, back to sports.
Yep.
Mind dump time. 414-677-1250. What's on your head? What's on your heart? What do you got to get off your chest this morning? We call it the morning mind dump. Here's one from the 414. Congratulations, Trevor and Josh. Trevor, I love your podcast. And when you filled in on the Josh, I have missed your voice and your views. Great to have you both together. I have made the switch. Jason in Sheboygan.
Hey,
Jay, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Jason.
Somebody earlier was texting in about the TVs that I was commenting on in the Packers locker room, and he said, would you say more TVs and lights in the locker room are positive? And then just now, all in love, Trevor, if we didn't bust you up, we wouldn't like you. I appreciate that. It's all good.
See, there we go.
So
Sorry.
the last text just got me real quick. 262. We're talking about this card that I'm trying to deliver to Jerry Jones. Make sure to deliver it with his afternoon warm milk before his nap. Maybe write it out of elbow noodles.
Oh yeah, get some, make it like an art project.
Oh, that'd be great.
It'd be so good.
So I think we're going to make two. Now I just decided this. I want to know what you want me to put in it, though. Like, what is the message or messages that you want me to write? And we're going to make two. I will make two, and I will take pictures of this. I'm going to bring one along, and we're also going to mail one.
Are you also going to make a sign? I feel like I also need you to make a sign to hold up during the game as a, just in case the cards don't actually get to him. They got to go through a filtering process of other people before they get to Jerry to thank him. You got to have a sign in the stands. Thank you, Jerry.
Based on where my seats are, my sign will be completely irrelevant. I'll be able to see Houston from where we're sitting.
Oh, okay.
Sure. That's okay.
All right.
Not a bad seat in the house with a TV like that over the field. Hopefully we can see the whole field. I've never been there. Have you been there?
No, I have not.
Anybody been there? I want to know what I should look for, what I should do. A buddy of mine was telling me that there's some good programming next door where the Rangers play. They have live bands and kind of the sports bar scene over there. So I definitely am looking forward to checking that out. A fun dinner plan for Saturday night. Obviously, the Packers everywhere will have a tailgate party at some point somewhere. Excited to check that out. I'm just excited to go. I was supposed to go to Nashville last year, but I couldn't. And we had the whole trip lined up, and I couldn't because I blew out my Achilles playing beer league softball.
Classic.
Yeah, classic is right. It was horrendous. And then 8 weeks into my recovery, I got an infection, and then I couldn't travel and had a PICC line, and it has been a rough 12 months in the Thomas household. We have not had a good run, but we're over it. We're over it. All right, there are more texts to get to. We're going to do that next. It is Inside Wisconsin Sports live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Make sure to follow us along on Facebook and Twitter. It's at The Fan Milwaukee, or check out the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line is flying this morning, 414-677-1250. We are so jacked for the brand new lineup here on The Fan, 6 to 9, Inside Wisconsin Sports, with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht. That is us. Morning, Josh.
Good morning, bud.
9 to noon with Kuhn and Rami Makloff. John Kuhn is back 9 to noon here on The Fan. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show in its new time slot with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, the Fan Postgame Show with Tommy Wirtz. Did he sleep there last night again?
He did not. He got to sleep in his bed last night.
In his own bed.
Thank the Lord.
Follow along with Josh and I on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW, at On Air Josh, and along with the show as well at Inside Wis Sports. That's where we'll retweet and share a whole bunch of the things from the show and the station as a whole. We are so excited to be here. We are in the middle of a morning mind dump where we just get all of the things that we have cooking off our chest. And the NicolayLaw.com talk and text line is here for it. This is a fascinating one. Jason in the 920 shares, relax. It's one game. We're talking about the Packers. Sure, we punched the bag, but we're fine. As Wisconsin sports fans, we've had a lot of really bad one games that kind of seem to send us off the ledge, yeah?
Hey, Jason, don't tell me how to fan, okay? I will absolutely live and die per game, especially when it's a loss like that. And I can't help the fact that that's how it feels right now in all of Wisconsin sports. That I just feel like our emotions are so heightened right now on every single game. I can't explain to you why. Maybe it's just the time of year, but this is not April when I'm watching the Brewers. This is not spring. This is not the the preseason for the Packers.
But wait, April for the Brewers, highly emotional time. When we started the season 0-5, our pets' heads were falling off. They didn't really come back on until mid to late May.
Sure, that's true. But at that point, we still knew a lot of baseball left.
A lot of ball game left. So he's got a point, though, in regards to this one game thing, and I think it does stretch across all Wisconsin sports, at least the big ones at the moment. Packers kind of have a dumper, right? Big collapse at the end of that game on Sunday. Brewers don't seem to be hot by any means, and you lose a tough one in San Diego. Although they played hard, it was a tough loss, and it's got us a little antsy here on a Tuesday morning. And then you look at Wisconsin football, and they take a giant DUMP against Maryland, and everybody in Wisconsin football fandom, their pets' heads are falling off for sure. Halftime at Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday, the chants were loud and clear.
Yeah.
Fire Fickle. Now, what's interesting about this, and we talked about this yesterday, is that the optics of this piece with the whole Fickle thing changed on Sunday when somebody spotted Mike McCarthy in a suite with Wisconsin AD Chris McIntosh. And the optics of that were just weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Barry Alvarez comes out yesterday, and I'm reading an article on SI.com. Barry Alvarez on his weekly radio show says that how fans treated Wisconsin football coaches and players on Saturday is embarrassing. He said, I think it's terrible, despicable. They're spoiled, rotten. Okay, whoa.
That's a statement.
Chill out, Grandpa. Like, this is weird. This is kind of bugged me for years. Barry Alvarez was a highly successful head football coach here at Wisconsin. It didn't start out great for him, but it changed quickly.
Correct.
Quickly. Okay. Then he becomes the athletic director, and Wisconsin sports are at an all-time high, and it was a blast. Chris McIntosh comes in as Barry Alvarez's replacement, and Barry doesn't go away. It's kind of like when the presidency changes over, I swear I will not talk politics. I just feel like that president should disappear. Get out of the light. When Barry retired, he didn't go anywhere. He's got a nice place in Naples. But he's still in the light, and he's still talking. And as Chris McIntosh and or Luke Fickell try to process all of this, Barry Alvarez is still around with a highly sought after and highly thought of opinion. That's hard. Dude, like, should he still be around the way he is sharing these thoughts? Because that's tough, even though his thoughts were in favor of Fickell and in favor of Chris McIntosh. But the reality is what it is. Haha, realist.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like Barry has always just kind of been viewed as different, right? I'm trying to think about across other sports where Wisconsin sports specifically, where that is the case. And you have someone like that their opinion is still taken seriously and asked and all those other. I can't really think of one as much as Barry Alvarez is.
He gets a pass?
He gets a pass. I don't know that he should get a pass.
I'm not sure either.
But he gets a pass. I think it's more I don't like that he's telling fans how to fan.
Oh, it gets worse. He goes on to say, here's a team that you got young players trying to come on that are competing. They're going to have a chance to get better, and you flip on them early in the season, and you flip on them, and you're chanting for the coach? How do you think that makes the players feel? That's disrespectful. It's not loyal. You're not a fan. Whoa, you're not a fan. If a person is sitting next to me booing, I'm telling them, get your ass out of here. We don't need you in here. You don't want to watch this? Go someplace else. Go boo in a bar. That really upsets me, he said. Holy wah. Thanks to whoever shared that on the talk and text line this morning, because I did not catch that from yesterday, and that is significant.
I mean, let me tell you, first of all, he had a morning mind dump. Okay? He got a lot out there. But he is wrong. He is straight up wrong in so many ways. First of all, that's not how it works. That mindset is so not from a fan. You cannot sit there and be that type of person and speak for the fan base. That is the outlook of someone who has been on the field and who has been in an administrative role within the organization. As a fan, you absolutely are showing your passion, your emotion, how you feel in any way you feel you need to. And if it's booing, if it's screaming that should be a sign that there's a bigger issue. You're losing your fan base. Your fan base is frustrated. That's not them not being fans. If fans were only allowed to be happy, then there wouldn't be fans.
Would you agree that it takes a lot for a Wisconsin sports fan to boo?
I do, because I think realistic Badgers fans, especially on the football side, know that this wasn't going to be a season that they were going to go undefeated. They knew that this was a tough schedule. And so that expectation coming into the season should have helped things. But then to lose the games that were winnable and in the way that they did against Maryland, that is tough. That is tough.
I think it's okay to flip out after that game.
Agreed. Yeah.
And it's okay to have the chance that they did. The person that shared this, Mike in the 920 listening on the Odyssey app, he says, great show, guys. Appreciate you.
Hey, thank you
for
Mike.
that. He shared earlier that he's bothered by the way Alvarez called out the fans for yelling at the coach and not making Camp Randall a tough place to play for our opponent. The kicker here is, and this is the point, it's year 3. Fans are frustrated. The Badgers are inferior. That sucks. And it's worthy of being booed and chants because enough is enough. I will never forget when Chris McIntosh hired Luke Fickell over Jim Leonard. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying to myself, what? Luke Fickell over Leonard? What? Remember, Jim Leonard was offered the defensive coordinator position with the Green Bay Packers by Matt LaFleur. And he turned it down because he was the heir apparent. This was supposed to be Jim Leonard's team. And they didn't hire him.
Nope.
And I remember thinking to myself, I can't believe, wait a minute. Wisconsin football has been what it is for some time, and we've never been able to perceivably get over the hump. I think Chris McIntosh is changing stuff up. Luke Fickell's a hot coach. Cincinnati, look what he did there. Granted, he went to Ohio State, but we won't hold that against him. And we all thought, hey, paid him a boatload of money, flew him in on a private jet. Things are looking up for Wisconsin football. We are 4 games into year 3 of the Fickell experiment, and I hate to say this because I have been a Fickell supporter behind the scenes like crazy. My brother-in-law has hated this guy from day one, and I have proof of me texting him over and over and over. Keep your pants on. It's going to be okay. He just started. He needs time. I'm over it.
I'm
over it.
You're out of leash.
I am out of leash, and I'm hanging on by a thread. And look at the rest of the Badger football schedule.
Right.
Whoa. We may or may not win a game the rest of the season.
Wow, that's pretty pessimistic of you to say.
I don't know how to respond to that. It's time. I don't know what to do. Listen, the NIL era in college athletics has changed everything. That's not an excuse. That is what it is. I don't know
100%.
how Wisconsin is managing their funds and paying who, what, where, when, how, and booster this and NIL advertising this, that, the other thing. Something's not working.
Well, and that was the difference with Fickell, though, right? We sat here going, okay, the difference is that we're not getting the recruits. Fickell gets recruits. And then the social media team for the Badger football program would put out these sick videos that would let everyone know, oh, boy, they got another one. Here come. What's the recruit we got today?
Time to jump around, Madison.
Yeah, let's go. And it would be another 4-star recruit. But it never panned out. And I think that Badgers fans and a lot of us just thought that was the game. This is the new game of college athletics is if you get the kid, if you pay the kid, if you convince him to come play for you, you're going to win. And that hasn't been the case because there are better kids who are getting paid more money to go play for other programs. And that is what we were all just getting used to. But that is not what happened against Maryland. And that's why the reaction was what it was and why Barry is wrong in his state.
Still on the schedule. Week off this week for the Badgers football team. Then at number 19, Michigan. I've been there, by the way. I'll tell you about that story in the next segment. I went to a Badgers-Michigan football game and then woke up the next day and went to Packers at Lions.
Nice.
Holy road trip, man. That was so fun. All right, so Wisconsin at Michigan on October 4th. Then they play Iowa at home. And then they play Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, at home. Then they play Oregon, the number 6 team in the nation, at Oregon. Then they play Washington, Indiana, number 11, Illinois, 23. Let's just be real. Every time Brett Bielema comes back, it's axe to grind season for sure.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll win the axe game at the end of the year, but I'm going to be honest, it's not looking good. And one of my questions, and maybe we'll talk about this real quick to kind of end this conversation in the next segment. How long is the leash for real? How long does Luke Fickell have to turn this thing around? And I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but somebody asked the chancellor at Madison what her faith was in Chris McIntosh. I will share with you what she said or maybe didn't say after the break. Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sports Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. Follow us on Twitter at OnAirJosh and at Trevor Thomas IW, at Inside Wis Sports on the X as well. And talk directly to us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. I want to put a button on this Badger conversation quick before we get to a really awesome, fun piece of sound that we cannot wait to share with you. UW-Madison Chancellor Jennifer Nukin declined an interview request on Badgers sports topic in confidence in AD Chris McIntosh, but she issued a statement. This is all from BadgerExtra.com. Here's the statement that she came out with yesterday. We all know what a complicated time it is for college athletics. Our athletic director, Chris McIntosh, has my full confidence as we navigate these challenges here at UW-Madison. What? Every college has this problem. Oh, wait, no, they don't. Not every college has this problem. Colleges have figured this out. Universities have figured this out. UW football has not figured this out. That is not a college athletic problem currently, Ms. Chancellor. That is a U problem. Or maybe it's a Chris McIntosh problem. Or maybe it's a Luke Fickell problem. But it is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Correct.
It is what it is. All right. Flush it. I'm over it. Thanks for participating in our morning mind dump here on the Fan. That was a blast. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
At the talk and text line.
Appreciate you.
All right. So this was great the other day as Josh and I are starting to get this show ready, and we're working with station management on having voiceovers sent to us and then us sending what we would like the voiceover female voice here on the Fan to say, right? We have different segment ideas and we want her to record some things. And Josh texts me and says, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Why don't you go ahead?
I was going to say, I was like, I want to hear how you're going to describe this. So it actually, before we even talked, I was first sitting in here and I hear the voiceover girl, which, all stations have a person that does the voiceover work. And a lot of times they're not in the building, right? So you send off the sound and then someone does it somewhere. And so they live only in your mind, what they look like, who they are. And I heard this person say, you're listening to Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. And the way that she said that, something in my brain went, man, I can't wait to hear her say my voice, say my name. And then it was time for us to send off the stuff we wanted voiced. All right. We'll have her say the name of the show and introduce you guys. And I just happened to include in the email that was being sent to our voiceover girl, can you also just have her say Josh Albrecht like a bunch of different times? Just, I don't know why. Just, if she can fit that in to her busy schedule, if she can. Oh, and Sparky did it. He was like, sure, why not? And this is what we ended up getting.
Josh Albrecht, Josh Albrecht, Josh Albrecht, Josh Albrecht.
Okay.
No.
There's one in there that really tickled your fancy, though.
Oh, and you knew it. That was the best
exactly
part.
What started all this, though, which you so significantly left out of this story, is that you said, does she not have the hottest voice in the history of voices?
It's a very good voice.
And so you send me this raw audio, and I'm listening through it, and all of a sudden, right at the end, she's just Josh Albrechting all over the place. And there was one in particular that I'm like, oh, Joshy.
Yeah.
That's the one.
You mean this
Play
one?
it.
Josh Albrecht.
Ridiculous.
Josh Albrecht.
Come on.
Josh Albrecht.
Just, you're having a bad day. The Brewers lose. You didn't even get to see the end of the game because it's on the West Coast. Oh, I'm so mad.
Josh Albrecht.
All right, I'm not that mad.
Josh Albrecht.
Today might be a good day.
Josh
I'm
Albrecht.
feeling pretty good.
Josh Albrecht.
Today's awesome.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying. It's the little things.
Josh Albrecht.
Oh, it's so good. And as soon as I heard her read those, I was like, oh, Josh did it. Josh got it
Yeah,
done.
why
Did
not?
you put in the email by chance that, hey, our voice girl sounds smoking hot. Will you please have her say my name
No.
as many times? Oh, you're
Absolutely not.
Because
No.
that got forwarded.
It was simply, hey, here is what we would like read. And then just, I didn't even put it as the last thing. I just kind of, hit it in the list of things we wanted her to read and then just say Josh Albrecht like 10 times.
Even though to you, it was the most important part of that entire email. Please have
absolutely.
her say my name as often as possible, as many times as she's willing to do it.
Yeah. And then there was one, and it made it even better that you found the one. Like
I knew exactly which one. I listened to it and I'm like, that's it. That's what he was looking for right there.
Yep.
That is great.
Listen.
How does Julie feel about this?
Yeah. First of all, people, if you're new to listening to this show, you will learn pretty quickly on. This is something that Julie will immediately be like, yeah, that's him. That's my wife loves to roll her eyes at
Josh Albrecht.
Okay, she is all about that life of just going, oh my gosh. And she knows who I am. She knows the character I am and what I find hilarious. Is not worried about it at all. We are not that type of situation.
I love it. That was fantastic. As soon as we got that through the email, I was like, wow, he did it. He actually did it.
Yeah. So thank you, voiceover girl. And the other thing that's so much fun is no idea what she looks like. No idea. It's one of the beauties of radio that we don't get anymore because we are live on YouTube. You follow us on social media.
Yeah,
you know exactly what we look like. It wasn't always that way. Sometimes you just knew the person by their voice. Voiceover girl is still living in that world.
Yeah, you know what I look like sitting down. But then if you see me out and about, the tall, bald guy with the black T-shirt turns into this 6'8" behemoth of a person.
It's true.
285 on a good day right now. It's not a good day, by the way. I've not weighed myself since we started this little thing because my eating habits are out the window.
Oh yeah, get used to that, my friend.
Wow. I got to figure something else out because the 2 hot dogs I had at my son's football game last night and the protein shake I had for lunch, not gonna get it done. That
doesn't sound as bad as it could.
That's all I ate. I had some sugar snap peas on the way to football yesterday.
What did you have in the morning?
Literally coffee and water. I have a gallon jug of water.
I saw that.
Finish. Yeah. And my wife is so kind enough to have the coffee ready so that when my alarm goes off at 4, I just hit the button. And yes, we could program it. We could, but I walk out and hit the button and then I start getting ready. That's all I have. What do you eat something different in the morning?
I try to eat something.
Teach me your ways.
Like I don't know what it is, some type of breakfast bar or something, that I just grab out of the house. My big thing is that I can't do coffee. Never been a coffee drinker. And so right now I've got like the sugar-free Red Bull kick, which is not good on either me or my wallet. I'm just not a big fan of it at all, but getting back into the swing of things. But as a non-coffee drinker, a lot of times I'm just tired in the morning and not going to something else.
I like how last night we were planning on chit-chatting at about 9 o'clock to figure out what the show was today and all that. And I got a text from Josh at 9:07 that said, so I'm in bed.
Yeah.
All right, we'll figure it out in the morning.
Yeah.
And we have this figured out, though. We did do this at 9 o'clock last night, and I'm super jacked for this. Josh, it's a brand new segment.
A brand new segment?
We're
no
way.
Call it
Take Back Tuesday. What is something you wish as a Wisconsin sports fan that you maybe said out loud, thought to yourself, tweeted accidentally, that you wish you could take back now? We're going to call it Take Back Tuesday. So tell us via the talk and text line, What you want to take back? Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. At the top of the next hour, we will launch the first ever Take Back Tuesday. I can tell you right now,
yeah,
I would like to take back all the support I gave Luke Fickle.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
That's a
big
one.
I talked a little bit about that earlier. There are many more where this came from, including Josh's. I want to get to them all. I want to hear yours. We want to hear yours. So get with us. Take Back Tuesday, 414-677-1250. It's the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and what's his name? What was the other guy?
I don't know.
It was
Josh Albrecht.
Oh.
That's him. Got it. Nailed it. Live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Take Back Tuesday is next on Inside Wisconsin Sports. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Ground ball towards short. Iglesias coming home. The throw is going to be laid safe. Sal Frelick reaches. That was a heck of an effort by Iglesias.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Our guy Jeff Levering on the call last night. Oh, what could have been in the top of the 10th when the Brewers take the lead in that game last night, but it didn't stick. A tough one to take the L in San Diego. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht with you on the all-new Fan lineup. 6 to 9 inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht. 9 to noon, it's John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, the Fan postgame show with Tommy Wartz. The all-new lineup here on the Fan, and we are jacked for it. Josh, how are you, my friend? It's been 2 hours down, 1 hour to go, and we are having a blast today, buddy.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the participation. I love everyone coming back for day 2 of the show. You know, yesterday was syllabus day. It was the day you came, your hair looked nice. You had your fresh shoes for the school year. Everyone you haven't seen since the end of last school year. And I'm glad that people continue to stick with us and have some fun.
Yeah, yesterday was knock the rust off day. At least it was for me. Knock the rust off. It was a big buildup, man. A lot of people were really excited for us to be back on the air, and especially together here on the Fan. We cannot thank you enough for all your support. Get with us online, okay? Twitter, at OnAirJosh and at Inside with Sports. It's also at Trevor Thomas IW if you want to follow along with us on the Twitter. You can follow the Fan here on Facebook and Twitter as well, at The Fan Milwaukee. Check out the website, thefanmilwaukee.com, and text in right now, 414-677-1250. We are kicking off another brand new segment on day 2 of a brand new show.
A brand new segment?
A brand new segment. We call it Take Back Tuesday. Josh and I came up with this last night. And when I say Josh and I mean Josh. Came up with this last night as we were talking about some of the feature pieces that we want to do here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. And so the idea of Take Back Tuesday is just that. What have you said? What have you done? What have you thought? What did you have in terms of an opinion in the past about Wisconsin sports that you wish you could take back?
You know, I gotta actually give credit to John and Franklin, who called in yesterday, and he was heated, hot about Morgan and saying that experiment is done. He was passionate. Now I am here in support of his fandom. Okay, I in a different life I was called the minister of fandom. Okay, and I'm here to support how people fan, but emotion is a huge part of that, and sometimes you end up being very passionate about the wrong feeling towards sports and your fandom. And you just want to say, you know what? I'd like to take that back. In the moment, kind of heated, had a feeling, ended up not being right. So why not on Tuesdays be able to take it back? And I would like to go first if I can.
You may.
Okay. I would like to take back all of the comments I've said in a past life towards the Packers front office.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time on the radio and off the radio saying how the Packers will never land the big guy. Any free agent signing, any thing that you see out there from the 4-letter network or any other media outlet talking about this player being available, the conversation always became, well, what about if they became a Green Bay Packer? And you'd always hear how the Packers were part of the conversation. They were always part of the conversation. And I would say, stop getting your hopes up, Packers fans. They're always going to be a part of the conversation. They're never going to be the one to actually make the deal. And then they went and they proved me wrong and they got Micah Parsons. And I would like to take that back because they did it. And they proved we're part of the conversation because we just want to wait for it to be the right guy. And then they got Micah Parsons from the Cowboys, from Jerry, which you're going to go and thank over the weekend. And I need to take that back. I need to take back my criticism of the Packers front office.
Yeah, that came at the right time for the Packers front office, too, because we heard from Ed Policy at the beginning of this year, at the beginning of his tenure, that he did not want the GM or the head coach to go into a lame duck year in regards to their contract. Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst have 2 years left, including this one, and they went all in. And I firmly believe, to your point, Josh, that if all of these conversations in the past, if even one of them pans out, this is what it feels like. And I truly believe that they are in every single conversation, and this one just panned out. I can't wait to thank Jerry Jones for that this weekend. That was a good one. Way to kick it off,
Thank
Josh.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Take Back Tuesday. What do you wish you could get back? The text line is flooded.
Yes.
Look at this.
I love it.
Fantastic. All right, Jason in the 920. Back in 2009, I said I didn't like our new QB in GB and that he wouldn't pan out. Whoopsies.
Yeah. See, you can take that back today.
Yeah, you get to take that back today. Take Back Tuesday from the 262. Love it. I would like to take back my previous criticism of Sparky because, damn, it feels good to have you boys back on the air. I would also like to take back ever praising Luke Fickell, LaCroix Butler.
It's a great name there. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Now, the thing, and this is what I love about being a fan, take back all of the praise from Fickell. If they figure something out and Fickell turns this around,
I'll take it back.
Taking it all back again.
We will take it back right away.
That's right.
The 608. I don't take anything back. I say what's on my mind, and that's it. But what do you guys think about Barry calling out fans that are spoiled rotten for yelling fire Fickell? The only reason I don't like it is because there were at least a dozen recruits there. That's a bad look. And I'll give you that.
Do you think Barry
about
wants to take that back?
See, I was having a conversation with a buddy about this the other day. All men, if they get the benefit and the opportunity to grow old, become grumpy.
It's just part of it. Yeah.
It's part of it. At the latter part of one's male life, you cannot help but just grow a little grumpy. And I think Grandpa Barry's a little grumpy. Dude, he's not a young chicken at all anymore. His grandson that played for Wisconsin is a very successful tight end for that star in Dallas. Barry's getting up there, and I just don't think he can. Well, hell, you're Barry Alvarez. What do you got to hold in? That's it.
True.
I don't think he's going to take it back.
How about this one from the 414? I definitely want to take back that I wanted Craig Counsell, to stay. Hashtag Take Back Tuesday. Listen, I think a lot of Wisconsin sports fans, Brewers fans specifically, are in that boat. Me as well. Okay. I was a huge fan of Craig Counsell. I defended him against everyone that said, yeah, but he only wins in the regular season. He can't do anything in the postseason. Just saying, you guys don't understand how lucky we are to have a coach that's getting us to the postseason, blah, 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 blah. The second he went to the Cubs, I went, this could be it. We watched a manager find a way to get us to the postseason without having superstars because Mark Antanasio wasn't going to spend the money that some of these other teams were. Pat Murphy comes in, wins Manager of the Year, and is now 2 games away from leading a team to the best record in the history of the team. I'd like to take that back as well.
Me, 3. That was really hard when it happened. Really hard.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it happened.
I mean, hard to not be now.
Yeah, hard to. I mean, that's the whole point of Take Back Tuesday.
That's right.
Love the hashtag, by the way. Hashtag Take Back Tuesday. Here's one from the 920. Josh, you're the best. Are they taking that back?
Yeah, don't take that back.
Don't take that back.
Yeah. I appreciate you, though.
Ian from Appleton, I would take back misplacing my Reggie White jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be a relative jersey right now.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish I didn't take any mental notes. I've only been to one game so far this season. I did not make it to the home opener. I wish I would have taken a mental note how many Reggie White jerseys came out of the back parts of the closet now that Micah Parsons is here. It's a good call. The 414, great to hear you guys on the radio. Great chat today. We appreciate that. You're not taking that back. Jeff
Great
from
chat
Luxembourg, welcome back to the airwaves and congrats on the new show. You're not taking that back. 414, there's John in Franklin. Yep, I was pretty hard on Jordan Morgan yesterday. My favorite
he's
text
already
that we
taken
did
it
not
back.
read yesterday after that phone call, John in Franklin, somebody texted in and goes, geez, after that call, I need a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah. He came in hot. He was feisty. But see, now here he is, 24 hours later, taking it back. And I was a little hard on. Morgan. Taking it back.
The 414, I take back all of the bad things I've said about Andrew Monasterio.
That's a good one. I like that. That's an interesting one because I was with you, right? I was like, listen, Andrew Monasterio is a person on this team that is never going to give me hope or make me feel like he has a secure spot on this team. He's just there until someone gets healthy or they sign someone better, they figure something out. And they have found a way. I don't know what has come over him or just the way that he is working in this team. It's great. Great text.
Yeah, it's working. Little bit of a throwaway last night in the game when he was playing first, kind of chucked it over the head of trying to turn a play. And there was a couple of those last night. I mean, but at the end of the day, he's been a rock star for the Brewers this year. Andrew Monasterio. It's Take Back Tuesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. It's a new feature because this is a new show and it's the first Tuesday we've done. At 8 o'clock every single Tuesday, we are going to give you the opportunity and ourselves to take back whatever we thought or said that was wrong, or maybe that we regret, or frankly, maybe that we were just a couple, 2-3 many beers in and probably shouldn't have said that out loud. That was one of those in the head ones.
Yep, should have stayed up there in the old noggin.
Hashtag Take Back Tuesday. Back to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. The Fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. What do you wish you could take back? I like to take back the thought I put on that text before. Love seeing you guys back. I was like, what is this? Yeah, that's funny. Bear in Beaver Dam texted that he was really grateful that we were back on the radio during the Take It Back segment.
Yes.
Which made Josh feel like he needed to immediately hit his favorite sounder in the world just to make himself feel better in the moment.
If you guys knew, like off air,
Josh Albrecht.
just how much I had for myself going.
A lot. All right. What else we got here? I wish I could take back all the hours I almost read that on the air. That's funny. Josh, you're the best. He's not taking back that. I can't read the rest of that on the air. Jeez. That's the hard part about this talk and text line. Like, you've heard these birthdays where somebody sends in a name and they get whoever's on the radio or on TV to read it. That it gets dicey if you don't get to pre-read some of these things, and that one was almost
you got to pre-read.
It was close. You almost got me.
You got to pre-read. I got one here that I recognize from our friend Brian, who brings up that I also had very similar feelings about Josh Jacobs when Josh Jacobs came here. That's another one that I should take back. Well, I always liked the idea of Josh Jacobs, but I could not get over losing Aaron Jones. And so I couldn't even celebrate the Josh Jacobs news because I was so mad that we didn't pay to keep Aaron Jones and that then we let Aaron Jones walk. Looking at just the player that Jacobs has not only been on the field, but in the locker room and just been, the way that he's represented the Packers. Yeah, I'll take that back. Jacobs has been amazing.
So I was in Las Vegas not long ago. I think it was at the end of August, maybe early September, not sure. That's how Vegas works on a guy. Don't remember when I was there. Don't remember being there. But I do remember this. So I put $50 on the Brewers to win the World Series at plus 1,500. And then I also placed a separate $50 bet on the Packers to win the Super Bowl. It was plus 2,000. The Potawatomi Sportsbook does not have the Brewers at plus 1,500 anymore. I can tell you
no.
significantly lower. There was also a bet that I could have bet for $50 for the Brewers to win the World Series and the Packers to win the Super Bowl. Parlay. Put those two things together. It was plus 8,000.
Oh.
And I didn't do it. I wish I could take that back. I really wish I could take that back because I feel as confident in one of those things as I've ever felt before. And I don't feel not confident that the other team doesn't have the chance to win the Super Bowl either. Hinted. Okay? We had one bad game. My rationale in the moment was, if this happens, the state of Wisconsin may no longer exist. And I won't have anything to use the money on. Because if the whole
both happen,
the whole thing is going to flip on its head. If the Brewers, how crazy, amazing would it be for the Milwaukee Brewers to win the World Series and in the same season, the Packers win the Super Bowl? I would, first off, I feel very guilty for saying this out loud, but you know how hard it is to do a morning radio show after that happens on a Monday?
I would like to find out.
I would love to find out.
Yeah.
And I'm not sleeping. And Wisconsin would not be well in regards to, it would be so well, it wouldn't be well.
Just having both happen in the same year would make it the best year ever. Like, we would always remember it as the best year ever.
This talking text line is going to be the death of me. I had to pre-read that one too. I'm glad we didn't have to hear Trevor's take back after almost reading that last text message in from Dave and Connie. You're right, Dave.
That take back might have been to HR. So, it's probably a good call.
New phone. Who dis? It's Take Back Tuesday. Inside Wisconsin Sports, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we're going to do this. What do you wish you could take back that you thought, that you said, that maybe you were wrong on? Or, in my case, maybe you wish you could take back that you didn't do something. What is it for you? Man, there's so many text messages. It's hard when you do this live, and then you try to read these texts, and you almost bury yourself. All right, Nick in Greenfield here. I'd like to return my Badgers football season tickets for this season. I'm 0 for 3 on attending games so far due to scheduling conflicts, and the team isn't any good. So what I hear him saying is he hasn't been able to make it, and now he really doesn't want to go. So I would like to take back buying season tickets for Badgers football. Boy, I wonder how many people are out there like that. When Barry Alvarez first started, I remember him saying, you better get your season tickets now. Things are about to change. It worked. Things changed. And boy, were they changed for a long time, but they are not. They're changed. They're changed again.
Not in a positive, not
the right direction.
Nope.
All right, a good segment. The top of the hour, 8 o'clock every Tuesday. Hashtag Take Back Tuesday.
Hashtag
Take Back Tuesday. Hashtag.
You want to take back your hashtag?
Hashtag. I'd like to take that back. Inside Wisconsin Sports. You're welcome. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I hate that you're going to clip that.
Yeah, hashtag.
Hashtag. Hit the button. Who? Who's the stupid girl?
Good question.
It's not the voiceover girl.
No, she's
Big fan.
wonderful.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Facebook and Twitter, follow at The Fan Milwaukee. Visit the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. You will see this new, amazing, awesome lineup here on The Fan. 6 to 9, that's us, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, the Fan Post-Game Show with Tommy Wartz. The all-new Fan lineup here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. Get with us, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. We want to know, when it comes to the Brewers right now, and Josh brought up a great point off the air, we've got the Padres and the Reds. And then if everything were to start today, we would play the Padres or the Cubs.
Which
in
you
the
said
NLDS.
earlier in the show, the team you were most afraid of or didn't want to play the most was the Cubs.
Yeah, but remember, it had nothing to do with how they're playing or the talent on the field, because I
Sure.
refuse to admit that. It's those pesky Cubs fans that are going to take over AmFam
Sure.
Field in the playoffs. We've all been, at least I'd like to think, we've all been to AmFam / Miller Park by this point for a playoff game.
Yes.
There is nothing like it. Nothing like it in all of sports. I have humbly been to a lot of different sporting events, a lot. And some of them really stick out to me. The 2008 NFC Championship game where we lost, Favre through the interception. The Snow Bowl when we played the Seattle Seahawks, where Ryan Grant fumbled on the first 2 possessions. Fantastic experience. The Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits was amazing, but nothing will beat this moment when Brandon Woodruff hit a home run off of Clayton Kershaw in game 1 of the NLCS. I thought the roof was going to pop off the place.
It was my favorite moment in Brewers history.
It's my favorite moment in sports history.
Yeah.
Of any game I've ever been to, nothing has beaten that so far.
Being at Game 6 when the Bucks won it all.
That's fair.
That's
I wasn't there for
number
that
one for sports moment. That was, and I love Giannis to death. So that was big.
So I'm afraid of the Cubs in the playoffs because I don't feel like that home field advantage is going to be there, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of blue and not the right colored blue. So we're talking about the state of affairs for the Milwaukee Brewers, and should we be afraid based on what we've seen in the last few weeks, kind of the way it's trending, some of the injuries, played well last night against the Padres, but didn't pull out the dub. Should we, as Brewers fans who have been living and dying with this team all season, should we be afraid right now as we're getting to the playoffs? What do you think, Josh?
Well, and I'm going to say, for me, the answer is yes, because of who I am. Okay. I am a fan that analyzes all possibilities and outcomes and then worry about the what ifs. And I can't help but sit here and there's people out there, and I know they're going to chime in and they're going to say, absolutely not. They're the best team in baseball. How can people still be scared when all they've done is win and they're going to have the best record that they've ever had and blah, blah, blah? Because that's not how it works. You can, once it becomes postseason baseball, it doesn't matter how many wins you had in the regular season. Both teams start at 0. And then it becomes, who's the hotter team? Who's the most prepared team? I don't think the Brewers are either of those right now against any potential opponent. The injury bug coming back, creeping its head, is a big deal. And I can't stand here and act like it's something we can just ignore and be like, yeah, it's fine. No, losing Woody, not having McGill back potential, those are big deals when you are going into the postseason. On top of that, you're seeing the Padres, the Reds, not the Cubs right now, but the Padres, the Reds. These are teams that need to, Arizona, these are teams that need to be hot to give themselves a chance in the postseason, but they are the hot teams right now. And so all of those things give me a little bit of the jitters. I'm a little scared going into the postseason.
The Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. You're not alone. In the 608, this person says, I'm not sure it's going to matter. I think the NL is going to be a tough road to travel getting to the World Series. I want the Brewers to keep their foot on the gas, but I want the Brewers to go into October healthy more than anything.
Yes.
And that's the hard part about this time of the year. And that's honestly why the question is being asked. Should we be nervous? Should we be scared? Should we be afraid of what's coming based on it ripping our hearts out of our chest on how the rest of the season's gone? Josh, I love the points you made about the injuries and just all of the things that don't feel like it's ready for us to take the playoffs by storm. The only saving grace I have for that is Pat Murphy. And I'm really, like, maybe this is the eternal optimist in me. I'd really like to think he's got something up his sleeve that we don't know about. He's got confidence. They're having conversations. They've talked about this. And he told Adam McKelvey late last night that it stings when you lose like this. It's a great quote from Pat overnight last night. 1:28 in the morning, I think, is when Adam McKelvey tweeted this. And it had a lot to do with just how the Brewers continue to show up. Here's the quote. I'm proud of our guys for not just showing up and saying, well, we've clinched a bye, we won the division, and instead showing up and playing as hard as they did. That touched me. That was special. Guys were disappointed we didn't win. I am too. When he says that touched me, that was special, I believe that guy wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And if the theme of the Brewers playoffs t-shirts are the power of friendship, one could also say it's the power of family. And that's what I heard Pat Murphy say right there. Like, you guys didn't need to show up this way, but you did. And you continue to do so, even though, would we all love the NL and MLB overall number 1 seed? Yeah. Yep. And we can do it. I believe the magic number is 2.5 games. The Phillies have 6 games left. The Brewers have 5.
Yes.
So somehow in the next 5 games, the Brewers have to make up 2.5 games, or not make up, but keep that lead in order to get the MLB and NL number 1 seed. That's something worth playing for. That's good. But the Brewers don't have to show up the way they continue to show up.
Here's my thought about the rest versus push it to get that number 1 seed. These injuries aren't tired, soreness. Give the guy an extra week to get better, right? That's the difference with baseball injuries. These guys are on 15-day IL. They're in places we're not hearing any news of, well, you know, if you just give Woody a couple days and then he has a rehab stint, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, but I watch how Matt LaFleur uses the injury report to his advantage. So when these
Football's
Brewers
different.
players, well, but when these Brewers players go on the 15-day IL, you know, I thought this with Jackson Chourio earlier in the season. I did not think, same with Mizorowski too, by the way, I did not think that those injuries were worthy of an entire 15-day or more sit on the injured list. I would not expect the Milwaukee Brewers to come out and give us an update on how things are going for those that rode the 15-day IL. It is they're on it or they're off it, and that's it. And Matt LaFleur uses the injury report the exact same way. Listen to one of his press conferences, probably tomorrow, for sure on Thursday. Somebody in the pool will ask about a particular player. And based on the injury report, Matt LaFleur's answer is he was limited. He was limited. He was limited, Bill. He was limited.
Yeah.
I think the same is true for the Brewers IL. I think they've used it to their advantage when they had reason to put somebody on the IL, but it didn't necessarily need to be. I was thinking about that. Like if Jackson Chourio has a bit of a tweak in his hammy, does he go on the IL or sit in the playoffs? Probably not. But we had time. We had the lead. We had nothing but the reason to put him on the IL, and it went well.
But I guess what I'm saying is that they don't have to be on the IL if they're getting rest, right? There's not something legitimate enough to put them on the IL. We're just resting players. We saw that on Sunday against the Cardinals. That lineup didn't include a lot of the big hitters, right? They got an off day. They got a rest day, kind of trying to take a step back because they've been pushing so hard and maybe they shouldn't be. That's different to me than the situation with players that are on the IL that are out.
Yeah.
When it's coming through. And if you're a Brewers fan and you're looking at this team and how they're going to line up and who's going to pitch what game and all of these other things, you can't be looking at who's not on the board, who's off the board on the IL, because they're not in play right now. And so that's what gives me this, I don't know, feeling towards, do you keep making the push or do you let off the gas? If you let off the gas, it doesn't guarantee that Brandon Woodruff's back. He's a completely different equation right now. All you're really doing is preventing potentially more injuries, of something else happened, someone else getting tightness or something else down these last 5 games. That's what we're really saying when we say take your foot off the gas.
Yeah, but we talked earlier, too, in this very show that a lot of teams in the NFL do this very same thing. If they have their position in the playoffs locked up, they have no reason to keep the QB on the field. And I don't know, and you don't know who the QB is per se on the Brewers that doesn't need to play in today's game. You know who I think should play every single game between now and the playoffs? If he wants to make the playoff roster? Rhys Hoskins. Buddy.
Yeah.
We need you back. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you're in your mentals, but we'd love to have the Rhys Hoskins back that we once knew. Back to the Nicolay Law fan talking text line for a second. 414-677-1250. Are you nervous? Should we be nervous at this stage in the game for the Milwaukee Brewers with 5 games to play? Outside of last year, the World Series champions barely made it into the playoffs. Having the best record doesn't mean diddly. It's hard to argue that point. Doesn't make it feel any better.
Right.
The Packers, last time they won the Super Bowl, were the wild card. They were the last seed in the playoffs. They won every game they needed to on the road and then ultimately the Super Bowl. I think I prefer the Brewers having the home field advantage and having the best record and using that. But maybe to this texter's point, it doesn't feel like we should be the number 1 seed, and yet we are currently if it ended today.
Right.
It doesn't feel like we playing right now and played in the last few weeks anyway, to be the NL Central champions, but we are. We might get the MLB overall number 1 seed, but it doesn't feel like it right now, and I think that's messing with us. I don't know if it's warranted or not. I do think it's messing with us.
It's definitely messing with us, but like you said, I think it really comes down to, is it warranted? And I think that we've just learned enough and hurt enough as Brewers fans that we need to be the hot team. Being good enough isn't it. It's not it. We need more than that.
Okay, so this same texter in the 608 just said, how do I put my name in Braille? I've typed it 3 times, and Trevor keeps saying the 608. Do you see a name on this text? Well,
yeah, I don't see it.
Your camera? Me neither. So, yeah, put it in Braille. I don't know what to tell you. Boy, I'm going to get sick if you keep moving your camera.
I know. I don't know what's going on with the camera.
Roll up. All right, one more segment here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. It is how we close out every single show. We did it yesterday, and we're going to do it today, and we're going to keep doing it. We call it What's Up Wisconsin. What are you most looking forward to in sports and or your life today? What do we need to look forward to? The Brewers obviously play tonight. The Phillies play tonight. But what else is in your world that you're pumped about today? We call it What's Up Wisconsin, and that is next. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back. Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So jacked for the new lineup here on The Fan, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6, the Fan Postgame Show with Tommy Wartz. The all-new Fan lineup here on The Fan. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Check out the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. You can follow Josh and I on Twitter as well. It's at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. The page for the show is alive and well as well. It's at Inside Wis Sports. And you can reach us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. That's where we head to now for the last segment of the show this morning. We call it What's Up, Wisconsin? What do you have going on today? What's up? What are you looking forward to? What sports do we need to be aware of today? What's going on in your life if it's sports related? And if it's not, we don't care. We know it has to be about sports the majority of the time here on The Fan, and it's all right every once in a while just to check in with you and see what's going on. Real quick, to put a button on this from the last hour, I keep calling this texter from the 608. It's Bear in Beaver Dam. Bear? You may have said that a couple hours ago when you texted us, but if you want us to use your name, you got to put it in every text. We've had hundreds of text messages this morning, which, by the way, so grateful for that.
Yes,
One of the things that we learned when we first started here was the audience wants to chime in. Give them reason to chime in, and we're apparently doing that because we've had a lot of chiming in, and we want all of it all the time. So please keep texting us, 414-677-1250. Throw your name in there if you want us to use that as well. We talked a little bit last segment, real quick, just to put a button on this, and I saw a YouTube comment that was really relative. We were talking about whether we need to be afraid of where the Brewers are at, and then we'll get to What's Up, Wisconsin. Somebody said, do champions fear anyone?
Yeah, here we go. This comment drives me nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does.
I didn't see that coming.
It does. Because they're not champions before they become champions. Okay? And yeah, the champions, the people that are on the field, they're not having the same conversations and thoughts we are as fans. Okay? If a player on this Brewers team is scared or worried about who they're going to play, that's a problem, right? That doesn't happen. This is from a fan perspective and us looking at this team and analyzing it as fans. As fans, we are allowed to look at who we want to be the team to play and not play and how we're feeling about how they're doing right now. That's way different. This idea of it doesn't matter who they play because if they're going to be the champions, they got to beat everyone. That's not true. You don't have to play every team in the postseason to win the championship. You have to play a few teams. And so luck is involved. Who you get matched up with is part of it. I don't like that comment.
Okay. Noted. The very next text, and this, I love this about you. This Josh guy is hilarious.
Yeah.
He is hilarious.
Tell that to my blood pressure. As the second day in a row, my Apple Watch has said, hey, your heart rate's getting up there a little bit, Josh. Calm down. Okay.
Has it happened today yet?
Yeah, it just happened from that from that message you just read. We all worked up.
We got to come up with a name for that. What are we going to call it when Josh's watch tells him to settle down, Captain?
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
All right, here are some things that we got to watch for today. The Brewers, obviously, tonight at San Diego. First pitch, 8:40 p.m. On the bump for the Brewers tonight, a brand new name to all of us, Bruce Zimmerman. Hasn't pitched in the big since 2023. He's been in the Brewers farm system. He came over from the Orioles, I believe. He is in for this, and he got called up right because Woody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out what he's worth tonight, hopefully, against the Padres, because this all could repeat itself in a couple weeks if indeed the Padres stick to where they're at in the playoff bracket. It's hard when you don't know a guy, especially at this point in the season, but then you have to remind yourself, we're okay. We're in a great spot. It's all good.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, by the way. Having
I
mean, listen, it could be there's not as much tape on this guy. Maybe this guy, his first couple starts out are amazing. We have no idea. To me, this is a much better situation than us having to put someone out there that has been on the team that hasn't yielded results. Put him out there. What the heck?
See what he's got. The Phillies play tonight. That's relative to the Brewers and the fans because the Brewers have a 2.5-game lead on the Phillies for the overall NL and MLB 1 seed in the Major League Baseball playoffs. That matters because that means all of the playoff series that hopefully the Brewers get to play in. And currently we're at the NLDS, right? So let's not look past that.
Only one is guaranteed.
Hypothetically speaking, if we were to play all of the series in the postseason, they would all run through Milwaukee in terms of home field advantage. So that's why we are massively interested on what the Phillies and Marlins do tonight. They have their first pitch at 5:45 Central Time in Philly. They've got something to play for, too. I wonder how their fans are feeling. We should look into that a little bit.
I mean, they also, the last couple, right, they haven't been doing as well either. They just got done with the Diamondbacks, I believe, who were fighting for one of those spots and took care of business against the Phillies. So both the Phillies and the Brewers right now fighting for that top spot, going against teams that are fighting for a spot, and the teams fighting for a spot are the ones kicking butt.
Josh, what's going on in your world today? What's up in Wisconsin, Josh's world?
Yeah, so before I can watch some baseball, the kiddo has Taekwondo. Do your kids ever do Taekwondo?
I feel like my youngest did karate back in the day for a little while anyway.
He just started this, and I'm about it, right? I didn't do it, but I've heard that it's all about discipline, and, it's not just like running around and stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that go around with it, and all things that I think would do my 8, almost 9-year-old some good. And so
you're turned into your dad right there, I'm guessing.
Well,
my son needs this in his life.
I'm not saying he needs it. I'm saying I'm not against it. He chose to do this. He said, I want to do Taekwondo. All right. So we got that. And then just like every night, I got a baby I'm taking care of as we watch some sports.
Love it.
What about you?
Right after this show, I am so jacked. So John Anderson and I host the Inside Wisconsin podcast, and the newest episode comes out this Thursday. And right after this show, I am sprinting to my podcast studio to record a podcast with Frank Caliendo.
Oh, Frank's great.
Frank Caliendo, not born in Wisconsin, but definitely grew up in Wisconsin, Southeast Wisconsin. Can't wait to chat with him and learn about how Wisconsin influenced his career. I mean, he got his comedy start here in Wisconsin. He speaks of it very kindly. He was here a lot over the NFL draft, got to meet him. We'll definitely have him on this show at some point in the future, just getting to know him a little bit, but he's a great cat. He'll do whatever needs to be done in order to continue to bring the laughs to those that engage with his product. So Frank Caliendo on the Inside Wisconsin podcast on Thursday. I really hesitate saying that, even though I think we're about 20 minutes away from recording. I hate saying that until it's in the can.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But he did text me this morning and make sure he asked for the time, and he's not in this time zone. This just shows you how hard this guy works. I believe he lives in Phoenix, Arizona. That is 2 hours.
Yeah, that's earlier.
Yeah, man. It is not 8:53 there.
No.
It's going to be 7:15 when we start recording this his time. That's dedication. And I don't know if you know any comedians. That's not normal. Comedians are super duper late night people. Pete Lee. You ever heard of him? Pete Lee?
I have not.
Really, really funny comedian from Wisconsin. He's from Janesville. Super funny cat. He was on the Tonight Show, right? Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
And that was in January. And he invited my wife and I out to kind of hang with him and experience that with him. It was so good and so funny. And I did not need to stay out till 4 a.m. at the bars, but there I was.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever. That was a great
That's
moment.
the lifestyle, man.
It is the lifestyle, which is what makes it so impressive for Frank Caliendo. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot that I'm looking forward to today other than this baseball tonight.
So I was going to ask you, okay,
Yeah.
on this What's Up Wisconsin segment as we talk about what our plan is. Last night, I was wiped. I barely slept before the first day of the show. I think I'm going to try to make it through the whole game tonight.
Did you nap yesterday?
I did not. There might be a nap in my future today, but I think I'm going to make it through the game. There was no way I was getting through it last night, but something really irked me that I went to bed and the Brewers were winning, and I woke up and immediately checked the score. First thing I did to see that they lost.
In 11.
And you know me as a sports fan, I was like, that's on me. That's on me. I shouldn't have fell asleep. I fell asleep, and then they lost. If I would have stayed awake, they would have won.
If you have that amount of superstition and power, fix world peace or something like that.
Nah, it only works with sports.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Inside Wisconsin Sports live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are so grateful to be here. Follow us on Twitter, would you please? It's at Trevor Thomas IW. Josh's is at On Air Josh. You can follow along with the Fan as well, the Fan Milwaukee on both Facebook and Twitter. Visit the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. It's an impressive lineup that you all demanded here on the Fan, and we are grateful to be a part of it. We will see you again tomorrow here on Inside Wisconsin Sports, Josh, because
we are not done yet.